Okay, so I put a video up a short time ago where I was just improvising and so on, and I've had a request to create a bit of a video on improvising and how I do it. I can only tell you what I do. Whether it's technically right or wrong, I'm not a guitar teacher, but I've played for a long time and quite a lot of it works for me. So I'm quite happy with that, so I can show you some of the things I do now. Just as a bit of a start off, I think there's kind of two modes of playing for me, and you get to switch between the two. So I think it's quite important about hand position. So if you want to play with all four fingers and you play more with your fingers straight across the neck for doing some clever little runs and so on, and various different kind of Satriani or Vi type techniques, that's great. So you can do all that sort of stuff, and I will put those runs into various different places in solos, okay, and I'll play that very clean technique. But most of the time I'm bending strings and I'm putting real kind of expression into the playing. Now, you can bend strings when you're playing clean like that, but in reality you need to get some strength, because what you're going to do, you're going to twist your hand like that basically to bend the string. So I tend to play a lot of my blues stuff with only the three fingers, and I drop the little one in when I want to use it here and there. So if you notice, most of this video I'm going to be playing with the three fingers rather than the four, but it's not a big issue. Yeah. First things first, kind of know your scales, so know what the right notes are and the wrong notes. And if I'm playing blues, so if I play blues in A, I would typically play an Aeolian mode scale. Okay, so that is kind of playing pretty much the C major scale. So I'm playing against the A minor, I guess, but actually in blues it works against the major really well. So if I'm just a 12 bar in A, so you get a backing track of a 12 bar in A, and you can kind of so you can do that sort of stuff. So what am I doing there? I'm just messing around that whole scale. Yeah, if I go, sounds pretty boring, yeah? But if I go, yeah, so what did I do there that was different? Well, I'm using a mixture of pinch harmonics in the right place here. So I can feed those in whenever I want. And then this end, I'm using a whole load of vibrato. So practice that. Practice that vibrato so you can slip those in whenever you want. So again. Yeah, that's just four notes there. Four notes in a box. So it's... You see? And then I can go... is the bending. If you notice. So practice that bending to be spot on. Yeah, all of that. So I'm bending up to that note. Yeah, so if I can learn to bend up to the right note, and then learn to bend down, so you can go. So I'm using 3 notes effectively. I'll go. I can play it like that, or I can go. So there's a pull off there as well. Yeah, so I can now bend my notes, pull off, yeah, and then I get into double stopping, so I can now go, and then I can bend that 3rd string, yeah, but keep the 2nd where it is, so and then I'm vibratoing the 3rd but not the 2nd, so yeah, and then you can start to bend that up to so I'm playing the 2nd and 3rd string there, I'm holding on the 2nd, I'm not moving that, I'm bending the 3rd up to it, and then I'm gradually letting it down. Same if I do the 2nd string. There we go. Very Hendrixy. And then you can get into a whole load of double stopping scales. Yeah, so loads of tricks there. And then drop your occasional in there as well if you want, which is just a harmonic on the 5th. Generally works pretty well on it if you're playing in A. You can whack one of those in. And then my runs, I could just go. That just sounds like I'm playing a scale, so I'm playing it. So I'm doing that without plucking. So I do pluck a lot of strings, obviously, but in one of those. So you get used to playing your scale, but embellish it, put frills in. Yeah. So you can slide down your runs like that. So you can learn to do that if you get into, obviously I'm also palm muting quite a bit, so if you played a lot, you tend to move your palm in quite a lot in those. I'm kind of controlling how long I'm sustaining or muting the strings for in there. So there's quite a bit of that going on as well. And if you wanted to do kind of one of those runs and you're finding there's loads of other noise there, you can reach over and just actually mute the strings by just putting your hand right across. That mutes it from the other direction, which means every time you press down the string, obviously the bit that you're hearing is that end of the string. So it's muted out when it's open, which means the others that you're not playing are muted by this hand. And then you pretty much hammer on. So you can do that way around as well, which is really useful in some things. You probably want a bit more reverb and delay on to do that sort of thing. Yeah, so you can get much more of a kind of smoother sound. It's the same if you start tapping. So again, same A. That scale again, but I can. And then when it comes to your pinch harmonics, well, you just pull the plectrum back slightly in the hand, and if you've got two harmonics basically, one's about here and the other's about here. So bit of trial and error on your guitar, but you'll learn roughly. So on this guitar, just right on the front of the neck pickup, we'll get you a deeper harmonic, and just right on the front of that middle pickup. But obviously, to move it slightly around depending on what you're doing at this end. So there we are. There's a whole load of stuff to learn there. Now what I suggest you do is, obviously I know all my scales, I know all my modes. I'm just showing you across that C scale against the, or A minor, playing against the A, and learn the techniques. And what you should end up with is maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 different kind of things you can do in a passage of music. And then you can start to string them together and you can start to do cleverer things and become more creative. And if you can get them in your head and you can imagine how they fit from a timing point of view, you can play along with the backing track and you can put them in. And that's where you get target notes really, so joining them together rather than trying to crash through a whole load of cool stuff. You join it together by target notes, which I see as pausing in what you're doing. So I might go like this. There's my target note. I've paused there, and then I go, and then I pause there, and I go, and then I pause there. That wasn't a great sort of run, was it? Anyway, you get the feeling, you get the idea of what I'm doing. Target note. So just at the end of that, I guess, that rundown here, which is, yeah. So I'll just play it an octave higher, so I can do, so go. All the same things I showed you down here, just an octave higher, and then you will learn all the scales in between. You can do exactly the same. So I'm joining it all up now, you see. So I've got various routes across. So if you can learn to play across all the strings in all the places and join the bottom end of the bottom octave to the top octave, and then you can learn those skills accurately. So that's a great sound. I started playing, the first kind of vaguely fast thing I played, which was D minor, was Layla by Eric Clapton. So you're playing D minor, so you got that same shape that I was playing that in A, and in D minor. Yeah, so it's the top end of that. Now I learnt to bend my notes. I learnt a bit of speed in that, and then a quick bend. Yeah, so I'm learning to bend to exactly the right place with quite a bit of expression. You try and play it slowly. And the thing that Eric Clapton used to do was just hold on to those notes, those bends, for ages. So I played four stages on the fretboard there, really in a square, but I'm playing up to there and playing up to there. Yeah. Just practice that, and then you can double stop that. Stab bends. So I'm just stabbing in, or you might go, right, just twitch. Or you might go, or they're all different, but they're all bends, and they create massive expression. See, I can even harmonic down on a bend. So a lot of people learn their scales, which is the right thing to do, and then they learn to get that really clean thing. And then you see people just going, which is nice, technically great, and you go, wow, fantastic. But you can't stand on stage and just ooze that kind of emotion out of the music with just doing that. You need to join that up with all sorts of see, you know, Dave Gilmour again does the same thing, and actually ironically Brian May, Dave Gilmour, Eric Clapton will all say they can't shred like that all the time. They just can't do it, but they're some of the best guitarists in the ever, because they can put that passion in, and then they can stick it on, maybe stick it on the neck pickup, and it's beautiful. So that's a great bit of Gary Moore. He was the same. He was great because he could switch between the two techniques, really. So you see some of his runs, he just suddenly turns his hand around and goes blah, 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 and does a run, and then drops back into being a, you know. You still go fast with 3 fingers, sometimes faster. It's just lovely, isn't it? Put it on a clean sound just for the end, so you can hear. Maybe stick it on the neck pickup for. It's quite nice, isn't it? Then you can put your plectrum down. I tend to use those 2 fingers as you There we are, everything in one little video. Hope that was helpful. Just gives you a guide as the kind of things that I do. There's loads of more of it, obviously, but if you learn to do that and join it up, use your target notes, learn your scales, and don't play the notes flat. Obviously do that while you're learning your scales, but never play them flat. Play them as proper. Yeah, I'm bending every note, virtually, or vibratoing it, or, you know, or playing it as a double stop. Good luck with it. Cheers.